In chapter 5, Luke describes a series of miracles that Jesus performed. He tells some hard-nosed fishermen to throw their nets overboard, and they catch so many fish that their boat almost sinks. He touches a man with leprosy, something that would have shocked his onlookers, because the man was unclean under Jewish law. But even more amazingly, the man stands up completely healed. A paralyzed man is lowered down on a mat in front of him. Jesus says, "Get up and walk," and he picks up his mat and walks home to everyone's amazement. Your first reaction might be that these stories are simply impossible to believe. Hasn't science ruled miracles out of the question? I would argue that this instinct doesn't really arise from science itself, but rather stems from background beliefs that you may hold. If you believe that fundamentally there is nothing but atoms and molecules, then it is a tall order indeed to believe that the miracles that Luke describes are possible. But you have ruled them out based on your prior beliefs. If, on the other hand, you think there may be more to reality than the brute fact of nature, then you have a philosophical framework where miracles may indeed be a possibility. For example, let me explain to you how I, as a practicing scientist who is also a believing Christian, think about this question. First of all, what is science? Christians believe that God sustains the universe. In other words, if God were to stop sustaining the universe, it would not slowly grind to a halt. It would simply stop existing. In this picture, science studies the regular ways that God sustains the universe, the customs of the Creator, to use some old-fashioned language. In fact, early science grew out of theological considerations like, if there is a faithful God behind the universe, then we might expect regular laws that could be discovered. And we might expect these laws to be the same in different parts of the world. That is why many of the founders of modern science, such as Robert Boyle and Isaac Newton, were deeply influenced by their Christian faith. History shows us that science has deeply Christian roots. In the same way, I believe that modern science fits naturally into a Christian worldview. Secondly, what are miracles? Well, here again, there is a long history of Christian thought to build on. Miracles are not God interfering in an independent world from the outside, as it were. Rather, they occur when God sustains the world in a different way than He normally does. Christian faith teaches us that God doesn't do this in order to show off like a magician. Miracles can't be conjured up in some giant slot machine in the sky. Rather, God does miracles to achieve very special, very particular divine purposes. They are signs that point to Him. That is why I can go happily into my lab and do normal science. I don't expect miracles in my experiments because I'm studying the usual customs of the Creator, the ordinary ways that God sustains the world. Besides, science derives its power precisely by limiting itself to studying things that are repeatable or controllable. And you can't control God. So we see that within a Christian worldview, there is a very natural place and justification for modern science. But this in no way precludes miracles. If someone thinks the miracles of the Bible are impossible, they must appeal to other grounds than science itself. Fundamentally, there is no view from nowhere. Our philosophical background assumptions are critical in this debate. So, let's look back at this passage in Luke. If miracles occur to achieve very particular divine purposes, why did Jesus do the miracles you just read about? And can you identify what God may have been trying to communicate through each one?